A powerful 7.8 magnitude earthquake struck southern Philippines this morning, killing one person and injuring four others. The force of the tremor sparking tsunami warnings across the Philippines, Indonesia and Japan. Images circulating online show a shopping center with a Jollibee fast food restaurant collapsing in General Santo City. The local police confirmed that a number of buildings have collapsed. One of them includes a local school campus which caved in, and students were supposed to be back in school today after a break. But all classes across affected areas have been suspended until further notice. The epicenter of the earthquake is 13 kilometers southwest of General Santo City on the island of Mindanao. It struck at 7:37 a.m. local time with a depth of 10 kilometers. President Ferdinand Marcos Jr. has directed all government agencies to act immediately. He says the national government is, quote, moving, and reassured residents it will not leave Mindanao behind, adding that he is in constant communication with regional officers and local chief executives on the ground. Philippine officials have issued evacuation orders for areas along the affected coast, warning of tsunami waves higher than 1 meter. Residents are strongly advised to immediately evacuate. Neighboring countries are also on high alert. Japan and Indonesia both issued tsunami warnings. Indonesian authorities have ordered residents in highest risk areas to evacuate to higher ground. CNA's Felisa Batacan is in Manila, and she tells us more about the damage that's seen across Mindanao.
We're seeing videos of chaos at some schools and urban centers in the region, including a business establishment in General Santo City that collapsed in the quake. I've also come across a video of a school building that appeared to be buckling and sagging as the ground shook and as students and teachers fled outside. As you may know, the quake coincided with the first day of classes in many schools across the region. Local authorities have suspended classes, and President Marcos himself has ordered the suspension of classes at all levels across affected areas in Mindanao. He's also reiterated warnings for residents in areas that could possibly be hit by tsunamis to move to higher ground, not to wait, not to linger, not even to attempt to salvage any property or belongings. Local governments, including those in the city of Zamboanga, have posted tsunami warnings, lists of evacuation areas, and as far as we know, at least 9 Mindanao provinces, particularly those with coastal communities, are reportedly under those tsunami warnings, including Davao Occidental, Tawi-Tawi, Sulu, Zamboanga del Sur, and South Cotabato. We've also been seeing reports of internet and electricity service disruptions in several parts of Cotabato, Sarangani, and Sultan Kudarat.
Well, for more, let's speak with Dr. Grace Sethanant, research fellow in earthquake science at the University of Melbourne. But Dr. Grace, before we get into the science of this, what worries you most right now for people on the ground, especially those near the coast or close to the epicenter?
I would say that the aftershocks that are coming is something that we want to look out for. So right now, the main shock is a magnitude 7.8. And we know that from historic data, aftershocks tend to be around 1 order of magnitude lower. So we can expect around a magnitude 6.7 to be the largest aftershocks. So there can be some shaking that follows. There can be smaller sizes of the tsunami heights that we want to be monitoring for.
Well, we're looking at a 7.8 magnitude earthquake. And we're also hearing and seeing reports of heavy damage. The Philippines has seen many quakes in the past. How prepared is it to manage such disasters of this magnitude?
I would speak in the scope of my expertise that a size of a magnitude 7.8 can cause shaking that lasts for a minute or so. And so that would involve the structure of the building such shaking. So you might have to go and see how are the buildings that already exist, do they have the reinforcement that would withstand the shaking, that would kind of withstand the shaking of magnitude 7.8. So in the past, like decades, we already seen magnitude 7s and 8s in this area, but because it's infrequent, this might be an alarming alert for us to kind of revisit the damage and how we're building the structures.
Right. Speaking of structures, when a quake of this magnitude really hits, what are the first dangers that communities need to watch out for? Of course, touching on what you just said, damaged buildings, landslides, aftershocks, or tsunami waves.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so the first hazard that earthquake cause is shaking, but then there are following hazards like fire or tsunami or landslides that follow. So there can be those compound hazards that happen in a single earthquake, and I think that's where the responders will have to work together to understand what are the different hazards that could happen.
Right. And when we speak about the responders, what kind of challenges do you think that rescue teams could face in an earthquake like this?
I'd probably say the damage from the buildings that can cause some facades or decorations or the structure that causes damage to the buildings. The challenge could be the emergency responders getting to people that need help in buildings. So that's one part. And in the other part, like as someone who are what can we actually do in terms of in this situation, if we know in our houses or building, if we can observe any damage in the main structure of the house, it would be wise to not re-enter those structures to help the emergency responders work more efficiently.
And powerful aftershocks of about 6.1 magnitude is already been reported in parts of southern Philippines. How long can we expect aftershocks to continue, Dr. Grace? And how could this really hamper rescue efforts?
Yes, so there's actually an updated data that shows a magnitude 6.5 already have happened. So an aftershock 6.5 had already happened, 6.1 had already happened. Mm-hmm. I would say that we could expect in the coming days or weeks, we can expect around up to a magnitude 6 to happen. Some shakings from the aftershocks can make the buildings that are already damaged more damage. So that's why I advise to not re-enter structures that already we see the structural damages in the main buildings. And so aftershocks can occur in days, in weeks, and months to follow. But because we know that a 6.5 already happened, that could kind of give some ease to the people in the city. And 6.5, the shaking would not be as strong as a magnitude 7.8. So we could expect up to 10s or 20 seconds or 30 seconds of shaking to the maximum.
Right. And speaking of tsunami, tsunami warnings were also issued across the region. How likely are we to see significant waves across the Philippines and, of course, other parts of Asia, as we've heard, Indonesia and Japan?
Yes. So a magnitude 6.7, in this case, the alert that has gone up, the alert for the tsunami is 1 to 3 meters. So for an aftershock, because the magnitude of the earthquake is an order of magnitude smaller, the amount of the tsunami waves will not be as high as 3 meters. So I think that's not too much to worry. And in terms of Japan, if we look at the map of where this earthquake happened, there is a likelihood that it actually happened from a subducting plate west of the Philippines. So until we know the exact location of the earthquake, there is a possible chance that the earthquake happened from the subduction plate on the west or subduction plate on the east of Philippines. If it's on the west side, I think it is too far away for this local earthquake to cause a tsunami effect to Japan. But if we know the exact location of this earthquake, that it's caused by the Philippines plate on the east side of Philippines, we might have to monitor what's going to happen in Japan. But the waves will not be as high as 3 meters.
Well, thank you very much for all those insights. We were speaking with Dr. Grace Sethanant, research fellow in earthquake science at the University of Melbourne.